Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dead Space 2. Let's continue. So we managed to get killed in this next room. So I want to be a little bit more careful this time. Now the thing you can't do when playing precautiously is you cannot have you can't shoot every single enemy. Like, it's just not gonna work. You'll run out of bullets too fast. Make sure we kill everything. As I kind of think I will probably show a good example of later on as I play. So, this is your standard experience in a video game where you need to get from point A to point B, and in that experience you're going to get distracted and sent through other things. Trixie's find candies. Interesting. It's actually really weird to have such variety in Dead Space, considering, oh, this is an elementary school, so we're gonna have to go through the elementary school, I bet, at some point. Interesting. Their items shake a little bit. There was a, I think in the first game, what does it say? Lemon gum? Lemon gun. So, yeah. So we now have children. This is kind of a callback from, should be using the pulse rifle. These guys pretty nicely die on the first shot.
Isaac, you're still alive? We can't talk. I think they're tracking our signals. Are the memories coming back to you? They're coming back to me. The good ones. And the bad ones. The more I remember, the more my head hurts. I keep seeing the symbols. Do you see the symbols too, Isaac? In him. I keep seeing his face. Shit, found me.
So, remember in the first game you were getting transmissions from the marker that looked very much like just regular transmissions. You can't crawl in there, which is interesting considering you can crawl kind of everywhere else. So it's possible that the lady who says she's here to save you is lying to you. It's possible that that she's a hallucination. It's possible that the patient who is talking to you is a hallucination. Alright. So, what I think I want to do is go to the inventory first. Because again, I'm going to put all of the EarthGov weapons away. I can go ahead and sell this gold semiconductor. because there's literally nothing else to do with this. I'm gonna move this one. I'm going to move a full load of that and a full load of that and seeker shells, ripper blades. I'll have to decide in a second which of these bullets actually need to be in my inventory. Also, I don't need 2 stasis packs, so I'll sell one of those, which gives us 22. And we're just going to continue down this list. So, agility advanced suit is what I'm going to take, which means this will probably be easier if I take the agility rivet gun first, and then the agility pulse rifle. And really I just needed to take all of these to get them off the list so you can have a good experience on just seeing what things you're actually supposed to be able to purchase and if you're playing the game normally. There's no toggle or just disable the DLC elements. So you're getting these major guns that don't seem like they really do anything. I guess I'll take my weapon slots are full, so I can't take that right now. And I'll take the agility suit. Like, remember, in the main game, there are actual suits we're going to want to get. Actual improvements that aren't just DLC. So I'm trying to get all of this DLC stuff, play with it for a little bit, and then put it in storage and forget about it. And this agility suit seems like you'd be slightly more agile, yes. These suits look a little bit like, is it called Warframe? Alright, so now we have the plasma cutter, which I guess I could put my old plasma cutter in storage for a second. We've got the agility plasma cutter instead. And so I'm gonna move that. And then rivet gun, which means I can move the flame fuel. And do I even have any rivet bullets? No. I'm trying to clear up the inventory. Let's see, I might actually need to buy some bullets. And I could be certainly cheating this. I'm gonna go ahead and take that gun. This new one, I do want to spend some money on this at some point. But let's instead spend 9,000 on the line gun, which would require me to do something else. So I'll do that later. I'm just gonna buy some nodes. Then. And can I afford any bullets? Like, it's probably not smart to buy bullets. And our safe is just getting fuller and fuller. And let's take a moment. Alright, we've got the refurbished plasma cutter, the rivet gun, the plasma cutter. I want to move this one over here. So we've got a regular plasma cutter. We have this. It's basically just the same. It's just slightly differently animated. Or this, which I believe does a little bit more damage. Let's see if we can look and confirm that. Yes. 5% speed. Negative 5% reload. So, honestly, being faster but then being slower on the reload is probably not a system that you'd really want to live with for very long. Oh, wait, before we do that, since we spent a lot of effort there and a lot of time playing with the menu, let's go ahead and move here. If I thought this was a more difficult game, I would use an AV system on the save files, keeping the most recent and the second most recent. Wow, that is straight up just a instant load.
Hey Dana, there's this crazy guy that keeps contacting me. I saw him back at the hospital.
Nolan Strauss. He was a patient in the project, just like you.
Yeah? Well, why was he there? What does he want?
He's a psychopath, Isaac. Stay clear of him. He murdered his own wife and child.
Okay, I'll be careful.
Immediately to the nearest evac route.
Like, a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff that you generally wouldn't have expected in a horror game. Like, we're straight up in the mall, and you get into the danger of this game shifting its feeling from being a horror game into being a zombie in the mall style game, where you can just shoot thousands and thousands of them. Of course, that's the same issue. This is interesting that they would use this kind of outfit to race in and do the Olympics, and if you look in the background you see just regular clothes. Why am I wearing such weird armor? And where's the rig system?
This is Director Teichman. A station-wide emergency is in effect. In accordance with Titan Station Civic Code, I am declaring
This is a different area, so we're not 100% going in circles.
shot on sight. This is not a drill. Move immediately to the nearest evac route.
A Japanese style restaurant. This is supposed to be like hundreds if not thousands of years in the future, and here's a unitology system center. The first game clearly had like 3 areas. There was a unitologist area, there was ooh, levitating bed. Interesting. Wonder if it really did levitate people, or if that's just advertisement. This is that drink that was all the vending machines in the first game had that drink logo on it. Yeah, there was basically the military parts of the Ishimura. There was the unitologist parts of the Ishimura. And then there were, I guess I have to get closer. There was a medical part of the Ishimura. And let's see. Got it. So now I need to look and see if there's anything else worth picking up as I'm running and knocking things over.
Station Civic Code, I am declaring martial law. All citizens are ordered to evacuate. Looters will
And you seem like you're having some falling action here.
move immediately to the nearest evac route.
Doesn't seem like there's anything else going on. I always get the feeling that the Unitologists were supposed to be basically a veiled criticism of Scientologists, but they did it in such a veiled way. I would say that the only thing that's the same is a similar name, and the Unitologists themselves, as the game goes, kind of fails to make any sense even before the outbreak in their actions. Just a almost insane desire to worship the marker. Oh, and they never told me that you have to use the D-pad up and down the scroll. It doesn't make a lot of sense how they even could have developed an entire religion on the marker when the marker was this classified item that people weren't even supposed to know about, and nobody really even knew existed until the events of the first game. So it's almost like as if we were to land on a planet and then there was, I don't know, Christian crosses everywhere millions of years in the future from now. And well, it would have to be more than Christian crosses. It would have to be straight up direct copies of the Christian Bible, some translation of it
I thought you were
on a different planet.
This looks like a Unitology recruitment center. Am I still on track?
Yes. There's an old maintenance access point in there that'll take you through the waste disposal system and into the Cassini Towers.
Waste disposal?
Stay sharp.
So, it's... I think in this game they're gonna try and explain what Unitology is all about a little bit more. Remember, the captain of the Ishimura in the first game was a Unitologist, but we were getting in the first game videos of pre-rendered like little video logs. We're not getting that anymore. Interesting, I just pulled out my gun and it flipped the thing higher. So, yeah, in the pre-rendered videos, it kind of made a little bit more sense that maybe there was some craziness that happened. You kind of need the pulse rifle. And see, it's one people, one mind, one purpose. So Unitology seemed to be designed in a way to convince people to willingly agree to be turned into these horrific monsters. Interesting chairs. Have to knock the chair out of the way. Interesting, the table broke. Weird looking chairs. Let's see, I'm supposed to crawl through there in a second. It's really, really hard to believe, though, that people would... This probably is the issue. You can see that this is a space station. I don't know if that's supposed to be Saturn or if that's just supposed to be a planet. Oops. Well, I found another way to, another lovely animated way to kill all of those people. I just didn't realize that that's what I was supposed to be doing. So apparently what I did is I was such a good shot, not to brag here, but apparently I was such a good shot, I never missed this entire wall. I didn't hit it once. And because of that, I didn't activate what was supposed to be a cutscene. So you were supposed to miss and then hit that. And then you'd be right about here. And so, yeah. Of course, by shooting that and sending them out into space, any pickups that they would have dropped didn't drop. So being a better shot is the better move. Let's see, let's just briefly look around here. I keep looking, thinking that there's going to be something hidden more than there really are. They really didn't spend a lot of effort hiding things in complicated places. Crawling through the vents like this is the equivalent of walking across a tree limb in another game like Tomb Raider, for example. It's alright, but it's never been implemented in a great way. You know one of two things are going to happen. Either nothing's going to happen a lot of times, or something will happen and it will look precarious, and not quite often it actually won't be precarious at all. A lot of times you simply cannot die in these scenarios.
Okay, whoever sees this, listen up. You can use kinesis to pull blades off dead ones and shoot it back at them. Watch. Watch. You stayed alive 3 hours using this trick. You see? Just shoot it back at them. I'm gonna bleed out soon. I got clipped pretty bad earlier. So this helps you out. Whoever you are.
So this is this guy here. Sorry, dude. If you walk close to her, it just plays automatically.
Okay. Whoever sees this, listen up.
So yeah, you can rip it off.
To pull blades off dead ones
And
watch.
But also that tells you in a weird way whether or not it tells you whether or not something is really dead or not. Interesting. Interesting. So I must be coming back in the zero-G trash compactor at a different point. Or it could be that that is just a Star Wars reference. It feels like it might be a Star Wars reference. Yeah, trash compactor. And clocks set to midnight. I believe all the clocks in this game will say midnight. Maybe that's a reference of you supposedly being crazy, but maybe not. So I believe I'm supposed to interact with this one to shut down the 0G trash compactor, but let's start with this. So the question we had is your refurbished plasma cutter and your agility plasma cutter both have the same upgrades that have already been seen. So I can increase the go for setting fire, or I could go for damage. Probably can't get everything though. I could get one increase on damage, or I could go with setting on fire. Now the rivet gun, I've done nothing with. And the pulse rifle, I've done nothing with. Honestly though, I kind of just feel like I should go this way. We go commit this node, commit this node, that'll give me a little bit of bullets, commit this node, and this node. Right. So at some point I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more nodes are needed to fully upgrade whatever plasma cutter I decide I want to use. Meanwhile, I'm going to hold on to one node. It is certainly noisy in here. There is a slight problem with just using the this one weapon. It's too slow right now. So this will probably be one of these zero gravity sequences, which I kind of like this. This looks like this would have been a door at some point. That guy's knocked me back, so I'll use a little health. Yeah, your gun is a little slow. That gun is. So I can certainly see why my next gun that I'm going to try and upgrade will almost certainly be a pulse rifle. Also makes a lot of sense as to why that was the next thing on the list. So I could go down here, but I don't really see anything. I can't launch and land on that. Can't launch and land on that. Wait a minute. Wasn't it? What was? What was that gun? What was the button? It just told me what to do, and I must have misread it. Alright, so X, Y, and B. This is really dumb. Let's see. Tutorials, launch and land. Press left stick. And then fly, I guess. Interesting. So that's what the left stick click does. Press left stick again. That's boring as can be. It wants me to apparently go through that area. So what's over here? So this vent is venting out some stuff. Some more garbage. It's in maintenance mode. And you apparently can now just do launch and land whenever you feel like it. Interesting. Where are we on our inventory? I always get next to something noisy when I want to look at the inventory. We're in chapter 3 apparently. Everything seems like it's going pretty well. The game continues, and it's been another 30 minutes, so let's end the recording right here. Almost certainly we're about to get another jump scare and another challenge of enemies. It's kind of amazing how just playing a game where they have specifically written and planned out where a group of enemies will attack you somehow feels a lot better than so many other games where it's randomly generated. It doesn't come up to the level of what I remember the Left 4 Dead director system was capable of, where it actually could figure out good times to have enemies chase after you and appear out of nowhere. But a lot of games, enemies just immediately start running towards you, and it's not scripted out and it's not an experience. This is a much better experience where they're trying to have rising action, falling action, have us only run into enough of a challenge to keep us interested, but not too much of a challenge to make us get frustrated. And it's a nice experience. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.